Welcome back, everyone. I'm excited to be here tonight. This is our final class of this month-long series that we've been doing, and I didn't even know this month of September is International Yoga Month, so this has been a celebration of that. I'm Solé Weller. We have Kent here.
Hello.
This
everybody.
evening. He's going to share the practice and model so I can just talk you through it. And on that note, I wanted to say how awesome it's been to have my friends' support and help, and to recognize that it's okay to ask for support. We're going to be there for each other, and to just keep that ball rolling feels really special. So let's begin. As I said, this is the final culmination of this series, and we've moved through the earth elements primarily. So what I mean by that is literally the earth element. Then we went on to the water, the fire, and today we expand. So those first couple of elements were all about physical grounding. They're located in our lower three chakras. It's about a sense of self and inner knowing. And from there, now we move on to the most subtle of the elements, the space element. It's sometimes called ether as well. And space is the container. Space is literally the vessel, the vehicle that holds everything in the universe. So within ourselves, personally, it's located in the throat, in the fifth chakra, represented by the color blue. Think of a big, clear blue sky and that lightness. So to begin, have a seat in some way that you're comfortable on the floor. If that hurts your knees or your hips, grab a chair. And then rest your hands in your lap, please. And just relax your shoulders down your back. And then close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, start to turn inwards. And just listen and notice your breathing. Notice what it's like to be still and quiet. And often when we breathe, we measure the breath in terms of a ratio. So this ratio I'm referring to is the length of the inhale compared to the length of the exhale. So for tonight, we're doing a 1-to-2 ratio, which means that the inhale is about half as long as the exhale. And what this does, when we breathe longer on the exhale, immediately it drops us into that parasympathetic state. The parasympathetic nervous system is the part of us that's able to calm the body, to be responsive rather than reactive. So when we're in that fight or flight place, we're usually not breathing, or our breath is very brittle. And when we lengthen the exhale, we're slow, we're calm, we're very malleable. So to do just that, I'd like you to breathe in for a count of 3. Your chest is lifted, you're fully expanded when you get to 3, and then count backwards from 6 all the way down to 1 as you breathe out. And then breathe in for 3. And breathe out for 6, slowly counting backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeat that, breathing in for 3. Out for 6, relaxing on the exhale, just following it down the body. And 3 more times. In for 3. Exhale for 6. And then without moving or doing anything, notice your state just with that really simple breathing exercise. I have a feeling you're already more connected and calmer. So moving along from there, I'd like you to stand up and think about a starfish in the ocean. So we're going to get really big and expanded, as big as possible. Stretch all your fingers apart. Your feet are really wide. Spread your toes apart. And then literally, as the name embodies, be a star. So radiant from your core, from your heart, just sending energy out in all directions. It's up through your head, down through the feet, and then stabilize yourself at the navel. So no arching the back. That's perfect. Let your breath flow. So send it all the way out of your fingertips, all the way down through those gorgeous toes. Take one more big breath like that. Perfect, Kent. And then do the opposite. Make a fist. We're going to get really clenched. So squeeze your ass, scrunch up your face, your jaw, no movement. Don't let any of the breath flow through, no energy flowing. Get really uncomfortable, mad, angry. And then soften, open back up. Now be even softer than you were the first time. So soft, easy breath, soft heart. Doesn't that feel better than being angry and tight? Good, Kent. And then again, make a fist. We're going to crunch everything up. So close your eyes, squeeze your butt, everything tight, tight, tight. Really uncomfortable, and then release and expand again. Energy flowing. You're breathing naturally. Feel your roots down into the earth. Be like a starfish just floating in the warm tropical water. And last time, get really tight and uncomfortable. Clench up, squeeze up. Hold it in, squeeze your ass, squeeze your belly, squeeze your toes even, and then release. Little sigh, soft elbows, soft fingers. You're spacious, you're kind, gentle, and then lower your arms. Okay, have a seat on the ground now. And for tonight, we need a couple props. So if you don't have any blocks, I'd like you to get a pillow, probably even 2 pillows, so that we can support firstly the chest and then the head. So we're going to lay down. Start with your bum. Stay upright for a moment. Just start with your bum about in the middle of your mat. I'm using these great cork blocks that Manduka makes. The first one goes underneath the heart. So this is the area where we are the most congested because our ribs are the largest. They're protecting the heart, which is a beautiful thing. But when we work on the computer all day, we can get this kind of rounding. So we're going to put the block right there to help us open up. The second block is for your head to support the neck. So it goes behind. You'll adjust it once you get down. Separate your feet about hips distance apart. Now, Kent, take your hands on the floor. Use them to control you as you lay down. And readjust this first block. So let me move out of the way. So it's right, my shadow's in the way. So it's right under the heart. Good. Kent, move your hands for a second. Yeah, now you can see it. Keep your arms up, please. Just right behind the heart. And you can kind of play with the positioning and get whatever's right for you. Once you're there, it's always nice to turn the backs of your palms on the floor so that you have a sense of just being open and receptive. It's a different energy than closing. The chest is really wide and broad. The throat's open. Again, this is the home of the space element. And we're spreading out in all directions with softness. If this does not hurt your low back, you're welcome to straighten the legs and then just let them flop open however they want. If you feel that in your low back, bend your knees again and come right back there. How's this feel, Kent? Yeah. Yeah, relaxing. So come into a relaxed place now. You have A lot of support here. You have those beautiful blocks or pillows if you're using pillows. You have the earth holding you. So notice if you've built up a little tension or tightness in your shoulders, or maybe it's around the groin or the hips, and then let that go and allow yourself to be supported. So we're going to breathe here. Close your eyes once you're in the pose. And let's find that 1 to 2 ratio again. So breathing in through your nose for a 3. Count down from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. In for 3. Feel your chest expand. The breath comes all the way up into your gorgeous throat. Let it fill the throat. And then down from 6. 5, the breath reverses the course. 4, 3, 2, and 1. 2 more. In for 3. Filling that chest all the way up into the throat. And then out for 6. Slowly down, back into the pit of the belly. That was awesome, you guys. Roll to one side to come off your your blocks, and just rest in a fetal position. Then move the blocks out of the way and roll onto your back again. And then Kent, scoot forward this way just a bit. We're still going to have the knees bent. Now we're coming to a bridge pose. So to begin this, reach your arms down, grab the sides of your mat, like get a really good grip on there. And then exaggerate the opening of the chest. So we're going to roll one shoulder, then the other by grabbing and gripping the mat to really pin the shoulder blades down. And you can see there's a lot of space here. Breathe into this space. And then you can release the mat. And with the breath, we're coming to dynamic bridge. So your butt and your arms will rise as you inhale. Let's do this for 3 counts. So lift your butt and your hands and come all the way to your shoulders. Lift on your tiptoes. We're going to take 6 counts to lower down. So coming down for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If that ratio doesn't work for you, readjust. You can do 2 and 4. You can do 4 and 8. Inhale for 3. So when you get to 3, you're at your peak. Your chest is lifted, your arms are on the floor. Lower down for 6, vertebrae at a time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That takes control. Inhale again for 3. Do this a couple more times. Lift up, tiptoes, butt nice and high. And then exhale for 6. Take your time. Hollow out the belly on your way down. Perfect, Kent. Let's do one more. Breathe in for 3. Really lift up, open up so you're broad here. Lots of space you're embodying. Lower down for 6. Take your time and be patient with yourself because you deserve it. Perfect. Let's come back up. So you'll rise up again. Grab, stay there. Just in the same pose, bridge pose. Now we're going to do it with the block so we can stay a little longer. So you'll need 1 block. Lift up again, so your bum lifts up. Yep, come on your tiptoes so that you can slide the block. And it goes long ways. I'll show you on my back, right here on the sacrum. So the sacrum is at the base of the spine. We want to hook the tailbone under so we get this really powerful lift as if you were at the chiropractor. Sorry, I left you hanging, my friend. Okay, lower down. And this should be comfortable. It's not on your back. It's right on the sacrum. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Good. So never turn your neck. I'm glad he did that. This can be kind of compromising on the neck. Keep the back of the skull right in the center. And then you can, again, roll your shoulder blades under. Exaggerate that lift to the chest. And then relax and let's stay here for about 1 to 2 minutes. Everything's soft, releasing down onto that block. And then we have lung channels that come down into our groin. So here you can feel that the groin is expanding. Can you be sensitive enough to the breath right here in the groin? And it's that 3 to 6 ratio again. I was going to say 1 to 2 is the ratio. So find that the exhale is twice as long. If you're on the floor, close those eyes. You can really drop in. So this here, there's a comment I just read. It said, can you explain what this is helping with? Our lower lumbar spine tends to get really congested. Often we stand in such a way where we stick the butt out, and there's a lot of pain in the low back. There's a lot of crunching and compression on the discs between the vertebrae. So what we're doing now is we're opening the lower lumbar spine, expanding it so that the vertebrae can be more spacious, and then the discs in between them are healthier when they're more malleable. There's less pressing on the nerves. We're also, as I said, we're opening the front of the groin as well to help us expand our capacity to breathe. We have lung meridians that go all the way down this front channel. So it's kind of like you're at the chiropractor giving yourself a little adjustment here. Let's stay for another couple breaths. And your body knows when it's time to come out. If this is painful, don't push through the pain. If you can't breathe, don't do this. When you're at home and you're repeating this, you can stay as long as you're comfortable. And just for the sake of time, we're going to come out now. To do so, come on your tiptoes again. Lift off the block, pull it out of the way, and take your time coming down. Your hands are like brakes. Use your abdominal muscles. Then when you get there, stay there. Touch your knees together with the feet wide. So this helps broaden the sacroiliac crest and the low back. Just let them support each other and turn your head slowly to each side. And to the other side. Perfect. And then roll to one side again. And this final posture we're going to do before we close with a nice Yoga Nidra, deep relaxation, is called legs up the wall, Viparita Karani. So you're going to need to pull your mat over to a wall somewhere. We're going to use this fireplace. So the hardest part about this is getting your setup just right. So Kent's going to turn away from the wall, come down on your knees. And when you come down, you want your butt, your right butt cheek, literally touching the corner of the wall and the floor. Then come on your elbow like you're just hanging out on the beach, and you're going to swing your legs up and around. There you go. That's really the hardest part. Scooch all the way in so your butt's touching. Perfect. And then just get cozy. We're going to stay here and let gravity do all the work. So couple options. You can see Kent has his arms up. I like to grab opposite elbows to feel that openness of the shoulders. That's nice. If that hurts your arms, just bring your arms down somewhere comfortable. And then the wall is supporting you. So let it hold you. Relax your low back into the ground. And we're going to come back to that ratio of breathing, 1 to 2. So if inhaling for 3 and exhaling for 6 was working, pick that back up. And we're exerting control with the exhale. So we're not just letting all the air rush right out, but you're savoring the breath. Being dominant over your body in a powerful way. And breathe in again for 3. And out for 6. So at this pose, we're reversing the flow of blood. And so you can Notice our heart most of the day is pumping downwards and out. So now the blood is coming down the legs and it actually gets to flow back into the heart. So this is deeply nourishing and rejuvenating. This is also really wonderful for cellulite, for varicose veins in the legs. And then if you're ever on your feet for hours and hours and you're just exhausted, this is one of the quickest ways to really rejuvenate and refresh yourself. How's this feeling, Kent?
It's a little hard on my hamstrings.
Oh, it's hard on the hamstrings. Oh, thank you for saying that. Yeah, so people that have tighter hamstrings, you're definitely getting a little stretch as well, which is an added benefit. If your legs are numb, maybe some of you already have the tingles or they've started to go to sleep, that's totally normal because we're reversing the blood flow. If you need to bend your knees, you can do that. We'll just stay for another 30 seconds or so. So to take your mind off your hamstrings, let's come back to the breath. Close your eyes. And again, breathe in for 3 and out for 6. Let me take a peek at these comments. Yes, so all of these are available. They're permanently on the IGTV, so you can find it there. It's going to be up immediately after this class. You can watch the replay as many times as you want. All right, Kent, let's bring you out of this. So stay right there, but slowly slide your legs down. Just take your time. Keep them on the wall for a minute. So this is important because the blood's coming back into the legs. Just feel all those tingles. Let it happen slowly. And you'll know when it's time to move again. And when it's that time, just roll to your right. And let's take the next minute. We're transitioning now to a yoga nidra. So I'd like you to grab a blanket or a light scarf, even if it's warm, something to cover and feel supported. Grab something to cover your eyes. Maybe it's a bandana or handkerchief, anything to block the light, and then a couple pillows. So I'd like you to find all of those things. You can do this practice in your bed if that's where you're most comfy. You can do it right here on the floor on your yoga mat. The couch works too. Anywhere where you can be totally supine and incredibly comfortable. All right, my dear.
Meditation.
So as you lay down, you want a very small pillow under your head. This is feather, so it's actually smaller than it looks, just to support your neck so the skull is soft, because we'll be here for about 25 minutes. A bolster or pillows go under your knees to support the low back. Let's scoot down so you're in the shot more. Yeah. And then as you're setting up, make sure that there's nothing around you that will disturb your comfort. So even if there's an object nearby or a wall in front of you, you'll feel that energetically and you won't be able to release in the same way. So clear your space. Let's pop this bandana over your eyes. I warned him this would be very challenging, very physically demanding. Good thing he's in such good shape. And then even though it's warm, this blanket gives a sense of support. So I want you to really do whatever you need to get totally cozy. And then take the next moment just to check, just to make sure that you won't have to fidget, that you feel supported, that you feel really relaxed and comfortable. If you panic at all, I'm just going to walk you through some pretty simple steps to unwind and open. And if you panic or you feel kind of lost, just open your eyes and listen to my instructions, and I'll guide you through step by step. That's better. So this is a specific yoga nidra to embrace paradox, to create a more spacious container to hold all of what's happening right now, all of what's happening in our own personal inner world, politically, environmentally. There's a lot going on. So when we can open and expand our ability to embrace whatever's coming up, that's when we can really be powerfully unaffected by things outside of our control. So before we begin, start by identifying some sort of personal affirmation or intention statement that you work with. It's something as simple as I am lovable. Maybe it's I am abundant. If you have something else that you've been working with, it's called a sankalpa in Sanskrit. Take a moment to recall that. And then really settle in. Eyes are closed. And as you lay here on the ground, just allow your body to open. And notice sensation right now. What's unique to this moment? And start to deepen your breathing. Notice how it's different while you're laying down. And then take 6 smooth, even, unbroken breaths. These breaths are subtle and clear. Notice how your mind is responding to this gentle breath. And when you finish those 6 breaths, allow your breath just to become totally natural and effortless. So you're no longer shaping it or adjusting it in any way, but rather letting it happen for you. And then feel your mind starting to develop a sense of gratitude. So being grateful for every single event that's happened that's led you to this moment in time. All the joy, all the pain. Be grateful for all of it. And then from this place of gratitude, I'd like you to repeat your intention. So your positive affirmation that you're working with. Just saying it silently to yourself. Repeat it 3 times in such a way as if this intention has already happened. So you're looking back, you're giving thanks. And feel that this intention is really seated in your heart, in your truth. And then become aware of both of your eyes, your right and your left eye. Whatever body part I mentioned, just bring your attention right there and be aware of the physical sensation of that body part. And then be aware of your eyes just resting in their sockets. And be aware of both ears. And then be aware of your inner ear. And be aware of both temples. And be aware of the crown of your head. And be aware of your jaw. And of both the upper and the lower teeth. And be aware of your neck. And your throat. And be aware of both shoulders. And then both of your upper arms and elbows. And be aware of both forearms. Be aware of the palms of both hands. And be aware of all 10 fingers on each of your hands. And be aware of the heart beating. And be aware of your lungs breathing. And be aware of all your digestive organs. And be aware of your pelvic floor. And then be aware of both hips. And both of your thighs. Be aware of both knees. Both shins. Be aware of both ankles. And the soles of both feet all the way down to your toes. 10 beautiful toes. Be aware. And then observe the mind being aware of the whole body at once. Effortless awareness spread throughout the entire physical body. And then bring your attention onto your breathing again. And let it be effortless. Let the awareness of your breath be effortless. And then staying effortless, become aware of sensation in both of your hands. So sensation in your right hand. And be aware of sensation in your left hand. And be aware of both simultaneously, right and left hands. And then cultivate the emotion of sadness. And just be aware of sadness. And then cultivate the feeling of joy. And simultaneously now, be aware of both sadness and joy, both arising together. And then remember a time of fear and be aware of fear. Just feel it arise in your body. And then be aware of love. Recall the greatest love of your life. And now let them both be present right here, holding fear and holding love together. And now recall something that really upset you and made you angry, and be aware of anger. And then be aware of peace. Being peacefully at ease. Nothing can bother you. And then allow them both to spontaneously arise, feeling angry and peaceful all at once. And then cultivate a sense of separation and isolation. Being completely alone. And now experience absolute unity and connection. Acknowledge our oneness with every living being. And then allowing separation and oneness to coexist. Holding them both. And now be aware of your mind recalling a non-constructive belief that you've been carrying, something that is holding you back. Maybe again it's that I'm not worthy of love. I'm not worthy of success. No story, no attachment, just be aware of that existing in you. And then be aware of the antidote to that story. And for the next few minutes, allow all of these stories to arise and unfold that are tied up with this limiting belief. These are stories that you've lived repeatedly over and over, that you're ready to stop. And hold them with no intertwining to all the details, no identification, just the memory of the story. And hold this with total acceptance. No labeling. Just spacious awareness of this belief in your body, along with the antidote. And now please be aware of the container that is your physical body, your name, your personality, all of your ego identification. Be aware of that. And then sense it dissolving. Let this self-identification just dissolve like a tiny drop of rain meeting the ocean. And by now your body's asleep. And your mind is spacious, aware, no attachment, no gripping, no holding. And experience the finite merging with the infinite. And then please be aware of your breathing as it starts to deepen in order to bring you back into your body. And send the breath all the way out through your extremities, down through your arms and legs. And then please take your time rolling to one side, and you're just going to rest in a fetal position for a moment. Moving slow like cold honey. And just rest here like a baby, like an embryo in the womb. And then when you feel ready to transition, you can take your time again to sit back up. And when you sit up, let's be still together. So with as little movement as possible, find a seat again. And just be still. Let's return to our breath with that 1-to-2 ratio again. So inhaling to close. Let's breathe in for 3 counts. Exhale for 6. All the way down to 1. And repeat that. Breathe in for 3. And breathe out for 6. And that, my friends, completes our experience together. This has been really special sharing throughout the month. And I want to thank Manduka for hosting this and supporting each of you in your practice and supporting you at home. Thanks again, Kent, for joining us.
Very welcome. Thank you for having me. That was a lot of fun.
And thanks to all of you for your commitment, for doing these practices. There's a lot of dedication and devotion, and repeat these practices. All the replays are up. Repeat them as many times as you'd like. And whenever you feel that one of those elements is out of balance in your body, find that practice and use these tools. Incorporate them into your life to bring us back into harmony, into balance, so that we can really be thriving. So I'm going to stay on for the next couple minutes to see if there's any Q&A. Love your feedback. Love to hear from you. And if we're not connected yet, please follow me. I'm at Solé all day, SOLE all day. And I'd love to stay connected. There's a lot to share.